Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel guys. Today we are learning about the parts of fire extinguisher, and we shall uh, educate ourselves to know the all parts of fire extinguisher. So before we continue, I shall be brief, and I will show you those part of fire extinguisher. So guys, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe as we continue learning. We have different parts of fire extinguisher, which are we have head valve, we have the seal, we have the safety pins, but we have the seal parts. So I will be showing you those parts. So before we continue, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe guys, so that we can go faster and learning about those part of our extinction. So those parts of fire extinction, which I will show you, and I will mention those main parts of the fire extinguisher, and we shall be familiar about the parts and the functional parts of a fire extinguisher, and you will be familiar about those parts. So in part of fire extinction, we have the body. I will show you the body. In those parts, we have the body. The body of the fire extinguisher is part of there, so that we call the part of fire extinguisher this cylinder, or is the we call a cylinder. This is the body of a fire extinguisher. So the main contents that we all it hold are pressurized pressure, and this kind of a cylinder we normally uh, put some contents which is called dry powder chemicals, and then we pressurize it up to the right pressure, which we use a pressure gauge for us to know the volume of it, or the pressure which we have pressurized inside the cylinder. So we also have this part here at the top. This is a hand or handled, or you can call the head valve. This part which I have holds, you can hold, you can call it holder, or the head vault. This part help us to carry the fire extinguisher by our arms. That's why it is called the carrying handle. This but the carrying handle, or you can call it a, a head valve. This but at the top, this one. So this badge enable us to carry a fire extinguisher by our hands when you are holding. And we have the operating level. Operating level, or the trigger. The operating level and the trigger, which you will squeeze this operating lever, and when you squeeze it, this part coming to contact with this lower part, it will release the fire extinguishing agent. That's why you are squeezing this part. This part is called operating lever. That's why. And then we have the other side, which this one, I think you are seeing, it's called safety pin. This one, this one is a safety pin, which will make our fire extinguisher to be safe without anyone tampered with it. That's why we normally put this safety pin and lock with a seal. This one, a red one, is a seal which helps to maintain the pressure which we have already pressurized on it. So this safety pin prevent this safety pin prevent accidental discharge, which must be pulled before you use this. When you put this safety pin, no, you cannot operate this fire extinguisher. This safety pin act like a key. When you remove it, this safety pin, and cut the seal, you can now operate this fire extinguisher. So when you see when you see a fire extinguisher which doesn't have this seal, that's mean that fire extinguisher is already tampered with or already used. That's why we are using this, the seal done and the safety pin, which help us not prevent anyone to tamper with a fire extinguisher. And then this part, it is a nozzle. I think you can see this. It's a mouth of a fire extinguisher, which we shall name it a nozzle, or when there is a big fire extinguisher, we normally put a discharge horn according to a fire extinguisher, or according to the size of a fire extinguisher. So this nozzle, this one, it has its functions, and that's why we normally place this nozzle, because this nozzle has its own functions, and it does its purpose. This nozzle help the help to direct the content, the extinguishing agent, to the right direction towards the base of the fire. So this one to help to direct the extinguishing agent directed to the base of the fire. Okay. Also, we have this bat here. This one look like a watch. As you can see, this one is called a pressure gauge. You have here, see it, it's around, and it has a color. It has a son of green, and it has a right side and the. So this uh, pressure gauge show the maximum where you pressurize a fire extinguisher. We normally put a pressure of 25 per. So this pressure gauge show if the fire extinguisher is proper pressurized, and the rating of the user. It show the proper if the fire extinguisher is fully charged or fully pressurized. When you see it, it has a narrow on inside and will help us to know whether a fire extinguisher is working, or it can work, or it is in a good working condition. So we have the also inside the fire, this cylinder, we have the inner part, and we call that it has a siphon inside toward here up to inside, which help to suck the extinguishing agent. It carried a fire. It carried the extinguishing agent from the bottom from the bottom of a cylinder to the nozzle. It helps to carry those contents or extinguishing contents to the nozzle part when you are using, and you cannot use a fire extinguisher when it is already discharged the pressure. So that's the spindle siphon tube is inside the cylinder. So be familiar about it. We also have the part of this bat, this color, which is looking white. It is called a label or instruction label, which instruct us how we can use a fire extinguisher. It has a written here. You can read the class of the fire, which a fire extinguisher supposed to be extinguish the fire. So when you read it, it has all the instruction and how to operate this fire extinguisher. As if you follow this instruction, will help you try to you on how to use this fire extinguisher. So we have know the parts of this fire extinguisher. If you are new to our channel, guys, subscribe, like, comment. If you have any a question about this kind of fire extinguisher, you can ask, and I will answer you. So let's learn about this thing. It is part of our life because we normally use a fire when we are cooking, when we are, I think, even when we are operating our own machines, we should have these types of a fire extinguisher which will help us in case there is a fire. Uh, so this fire extinguisher which I'm holding, it is a tripoda, and it is a multi-purpose fire extinguisher. That's why it can fight all fire all classes of fire extinguisher, all classes of fire. That's why we are calling this multi-purpose fire extinguisher, because you can use to extinguish all classes of fire. So guys, promote us, or before we end our live stream, remember to like, subscribe, so that you can learn more about this kind of fire extinguishers, guys. Enjoy watching the fire extinguisher and know your fire extinguisher. If you have not be familiar about it, you can look it how it look. This part, it is called instruction or a label, which give us the instruction on how to operate the fire extinguisher. So guys, continue watching, like, subscribe. So guys, we have different classes of fire, uh, classes of fire, and it all classes you can use this fire extinguisher to fight a fire, because this kind of tri-border fire extinguisher is a multi-purpose. That's why we are calling the multi-purpose, because it can use to extinguish all classes of fire, because we have different fire extinguisher are for different fire. It for wood peppers class A, for wood and peppers class B, class P. Class P fire is for a flammable liquid. Class C electrical fires. Use the correct fire extinguisher when you are fighting a fire. We normally use the word or a formula which is called pass. When you use this formula of pass, we use in all class in all types of fire, which P is called you pull the safety pin, and then A you aim the base of the fire, and then you squeeze the handle. This handle you are squeezing, and then the you sweep the fire, side by side to extinguish that fire. Always aim the base of the fire. Always aim the base of fire when you are fighting the fire. Not the flame. Don't aim the flame. You aim the base of the fire. The base where the source of that fire, not the flame. Remember that. Okay. Keep an exit behind you in case the fire get out of control. You can evacuate, or you can save yourself. Don't go near don't fight a fire behind. Always keep an exit behind where you can run once the fire get out of control. If if in doubt, get out. Do not try to fight a large or the faster growing fire. Call for emergency service like fire brigade when the fire has become large, or it has grown big or growing faster, so you can the emergency service, which is fire brigades. Check the when you are maintaining this fire extinguisher, you supposed to check the pressure gauge monthly or weekly. Ensure the, the pointer is on the green zone. This side green zone. Make sure your fire extinguisher are on the green zone, and in spite for the damage or corrosive, ensure the safety pin and seal are intact. Ensure this part it has safety pin and the seal. Always keep your fire extinguisher easily accessibility, like you can place in kitchen, garage, or near the exit where you can get it quickly, or when it is where it is feasible to get it. Do not lock. To note, this one is a warning sign. Do not block where you install the fire extinguisher. When after using this fire extinguisher, you are supposed to take it, or you call the service provider, the fire technician, to come and take it for refill or replacement.